sinuses. We have, first of all, a sinus is a space, just like a ventricle is a space, okay? So ventricles are filled with cerebrospinal fluid. In the case of what we're studying now, the sinuses are filled with pooled venous blood, okay? So here we have the superior sagittal sinus, okay, which is going to sort of form that superior sagittal sulcus on the inside of the skull, okay? This is your falx cerebri, okay, that reflection of dura coming down between the cerebral hemispheres. So at the bottom part of it, okay, inferior aspect of it, we have the inferior sagittal sinus, okay? The inferior sagittal sinus, along with the great cerebral vein of Galen, okay, empty into the straight sinus. The straight sinus passes through the midline of tentorium cerebelli, another dural reflection that is a tent over the cerebellum, okay, tentorium cerebelli, and empties into the confluence of the sinuses, along with the superior sagittal sinus, okay? So, at this point, we have the occipital sinus right here, okay? Notice it also communicates with the confluence of the sinuses. And then we have our transverse sinuses, okay, going across. Transverse sinuses, so the majority of superior and inferior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, great cerebral vein, and then merge at the confluences, go out through the transverse sinuses, and the transverse sinuses empty into the sigmoid venous sinus behind the petrous portion of the temporal bone, which is right here. It's still covered by dura, so it's light blue.
That's the sigmoid sinus.
Yes.
Okay.
Sigmoid venous sinus ends at the jugular foramen. Jugular foramen, while it does technically have some thickness because it's bone, right? Okay, it's formed by articulation of more than one bone. So, but for this argument, think of it as a plane, okay? So you have the sigmoid venous sinus, this pooled blood, which is draining mostly by gravity, okay? Hits the jugular foramen. On the underside of the jugular foramen, you now have the internal jugular vein receiving all that blood on both sides, okay? So that's pretty much how it works. I mean, there are other sinuses that aren't labeled. There are other ways for the blood from the cranial cavity to get out, but that's the major way.
Could you point out the tentorium cerebelli
Sure.
again, please?
Yep. So right here would be the cerebellum.
Oh, okay.
So this is the tentorium cerebelli, the tent over the cerebellum.
Oh, it's just the dura.
It's just the dura.
Okay.
So where is it exactly on there?
It's right here.
Yeah,
Nice flash.
right there.
It's
Covering
the
it.
most
What
notable
is
thing
this?
you
Yeah.
can see on there.
Yeah.
What is this right here? Is it a vein
I have
or
a picture.
artery?
Yeah, that's the great cerebral vein
Great cerebral
of,
vein.
yeah, of Galen. Yeah.
It comes with its own
Don't
little
worry, it's
atlas.
whatever I called it. Whatever
Yeah.
Dr.
back.
Carnes called it.
Oh,
in,
no.
Oh, I didn't even
The
know
old
that.
edition has it in the front, and the new edition has it in the back.
Okay.